When it comes to food, healthy and nutritious doesn't mean it's less tasty. In fact, many times it's quite the opposite. And we've learned that time and time again when we've had Kelly Williams, a nutrition educator in the Delmarva Life Kitchen. Well, it's time to have her back, this time via Zoom, and she joins us from her West Ocean City home. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Lisa.
How has everything been with you lately, with the quarantine and COVID?
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. I've been home with my 4 kids. I'm seeing all of my clients via telehealth, so I'm doing all of my client work via Zoom, just like we're doing right now.
So you're spending a lot of time in the kitchen. That's a good thing.
I am.
So what are we making today?
Today we're making a quinoa salad. It's got a little bit of a Mediterranean twist, but it's really flexible. You can add lots of different spices, herbs, different vegetables. You can really mix this one up a lot. It's great for summer cookouts because there's no mayonnaise, no sour cream. So it's really nice to be able to serve, keep it out, on a picnic table for a little bit. It's pretty safe that way.
All right, well, let's get started.
Okay, so the first thing you do, because it takes the longest, is cook the quinoa. And if you're not familiar with quinoa, it is actually a seed. Many people think that it's a grain similar to, wheat or rice or something like that, and it's not. It is a seed. It's completely gluten-free, and it has all of your 9 essential amino acids, which makes it a complete protein. That's really important for people who are vegetarian, vegan, or just people who are following a plant-based lifestyle and trying to consume primarily plant products. It is a complete protein, so it's a great meal in and of itself. So first thing, when you cook quinoa, you're going to rinse it off, and it's a super easy cooking ratio. It's about 1 cup of quinoa to 2 cups of liquid. You can use either water, or I like to use chicken or vegetable broth sometimes because it gives it some extra flavor. And that's what I already cooked for you here today.
Okay.
So a little trick when you cook quinoa and you're going to serve it in a cold salad like we're doing today, take it out of your pan and pour it directly onto a baking sheet. And then you're going to do something known as raking. With your fork, just kind of draw it through just to sort of separate out the little seeds and let it cool this way. And by doing that, it keeps it from clumping together, which makes the texture of your salad a lot better.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so we're going to start by just adding this to a large bowl. And again, this is the amount of 1 cup of dry quinoa to 2 cups of liquid. And I cooked mine in some chicken broth. Mm-hmm. Which just gives it, as I said, a little extra flavor.
Could you do this with a flavored quinoa as well?
You could. This one is a tricolor quinoa. And honestly, you could really make this dish if you prefer rice. You could make it with rice. Do this same technique, though, where you rake it out into the pan, just because it keeps the grains, in the case of rice, from sticking together.
Okay.
Yeah. And if they do want to stick to the pan a little, though. Okay. There we go. So those are in the bowl. And again, you want to wait until they're completely cooled off to put them in the bowl, too. So today we're going to start with a variety of vegetables. I have a cucumber here, bell pepper, onion, and tomatoes. And you're just thinking about making them bite-sized.
Sure.
So when I do the cucumber, if you buy an English cucumber and it doesn't have seeds, that's really easy. If it's a regular cucumber and it's seeded, you kind of want to get those out to improve the texture of your salad. And that's very easy too. Just take a spoon and drag it down the middle like that. That's a great job for kids too. They have a lot of time.
Sure.
Cucumber, pulling out that part. So it kind of leaves you like that. Mm-hmm. We're going to do both sides.
And my mom always used to peel the cucumber, but you don't have to do that, do you?
No, that's really personal preference. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could do that if you prefer it. Some people are kind of like in the middle and they'll just peel like a stripe, every other, kind of leave a little bit behind. Give it kind of a thin slice. Again, you're going for something that's bite-sized. This works really well if you, let's say you had grilled and you had some grilled squash or zucchini or even eggplant. This would be a great way to reuse some leftover grilled vegetables too. Those taste
Okay.
really good.
All right, well, I tell you what, we're going to take a break while you cut up the vegetables and then
Perfect.
come back and finish up the salad. Our Cooking with Kelly continues next. Well, before the break, nutrition educator Kelly Williams started a delicious quinoa salad, and you got through some of the vegetables. What are the things that you cut up there during the break?
So I went ahead and cut the herbs. And again, as I mentioned, you can use any herbs you like. And today I'm using a big bunch of parsley, some basil, and some mint.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The mint is something that I guess would make it really summery, give it a light flavor.
It does. And it goes really well with basil. Sometimes people don't think about putting mint in something that's savory like this, but it has a great Mediterranean flavor if you can add that too.
Oh, okay.
I also, over the break, so we had the peppers, the onions, the tomatoes, the cucumber, and I added 1 can of chickpeas, which are rinsed and drained. Make sure you rinse
Okay.
and drain them. As I said, any herbs you want, about a cup total of whatever combination. So that's all in this bowl, and I'm going to give it a good pinch of salt and let that sit there. And now we're going to make the dressing. So the dressing is really easy. It's about a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. This is going to depend on the size of your lemons to
Sure.
determine just how many you need. My lemons are huge today, so I probably only need 1. Okay, so we're just going to give that a good press.
And you get your workout with your hands too.
You do, yeah. If you have one of these old-fashioned presses like this.
Yeah.
Okay. I also went ahead and chopped up 2 cloves of garlic. That's in there. And we're going to add the rest of our dressing ingredients. It's a 1/4 cup of olive oil.
Now, do you do the light or any particular kind of olive oil?
Usually extra virgin olive oil for a dressing or anything that you're serving raw. That's not necessarily what I would cook with all the time, depending on the temperature. We already have our lemon juice in there, and now we're going to add a tablespoon of, this is white wine vinegar. You can use red wine, rice wine. I probably wouldn't use white vinegar,
Sure.
but any of the wine vinegars are fine. Okay. And we're going to give that a whisk. You can also put this in a jar and just shake it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And that's really all there is to that. Dress over your salad. Okay. Give it some black pepper. This is just to taste, whatever you like.
And this is a really quick recipe too. It does not
It's
take
so
long at all.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have to cook any of the vegetables. So really, the quinoa only takes about 15 minutes to cook. And while it's cooking, you can get all your vegetables chopped. Usually add another little layer of salt there. And then this is optional, but I think it makes it taste great if you're going for a Mediterranean flavor. I like to use some crumbled feta.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then just give it a toss.
Wonderful.
Get everything incorporated. It's really colorful. And as I mentioned, it's great room temperature or cold, either way.
Wonderful. Kelly, thank you so much. Of course, we're going to have the recipe on our website, delmarvalife.com, and I'm probably going to try that recipe this weekend for the family. Thank you again for joining
Thanks,
us
Lisa.
this afternoon.